Hey y'all, welcome to Stivers Homestead. I'm Zach.
I'm Jen. This is Mr. Poke. He's our friend for the next few porch videos.
Yeah. So, Jen, she grew up on poke salad. Down in this area, poke salad's a very popular thing. There's even a festival for poke salad. And so when Mr. Poke started growing, we didn't have the heart to pull him out.
No.
Not yet, at least.
Not yet. But his stems are turning red, so he might just get to live and not be ate.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We'll get in that in another video if you're interested in poke. But it is a foraging thing that is not just a weed, that is edible, and it's something that you should look up if you're interested in. But today we have something to talk to you all about that we did not expect to happen so soon. It was, I don't want to, it wasn't hard, more of a nuisance.
Yeah.
But it's something that we're gonna all face, you as well, in this farming community, and trying to get organic, all natural, farm raised, non-pasteurized food normal again. But before we get into that, let's do a quick little recap. So a couple days ago, some awesome friends of ours swung by, Patty and Mac from Southern Blessed Homestead. Their YouTube channel will be linked down below. We met them when we started YouTube.
Yeah, we met him at the Deep South Gathering, which was in 2018?
19, I think.
18 or 19. I think it was 18.
I think it was 19 because that was March and that was the start of all the festivals we went to, and then the next year everything went away.
But we hit it off and we connected, and we've been friends for all these years, and we get to see each other at various events. But this time they were able to come to our new farm, so that was really cool. We spent the day with them and just had so much fun. We love them so much, and hope we'll get to see them more and more often. And I don't know, we'll see how it goes, but we miss them when they're not here. Yeah,
Patty is the sweetest lady that you'll ever meet, and Mac is also sweet, but he is so funny. Mac is the funniest guy you ever meet. So putting those two together just ends for a very good day.
Yeah.
It's awesome to hang out with them. They hung out with us the whole day, stayed the night at the hotel, and then they actually went to Grammy, Karen, and Graybeards the next day, so they got to see the whole shebang, the whole family of our little group we have down here. They even got to meet my mom, who kicked them out of their Airbnb that they were going to stay at. But yeah, it was lots of fun. Like I said, if you're unfamiliar with their channel, they do have one. It'll be linked down below. Go tell them that we sent you over there and watch some of their videos. They're really funny. We'll have to keep clicking so this one can get all the demons out of her. No, honeysuckle is in full bloom right now. And honeysuckle is a big allergen up in our family. Smells beautiful. It's my favorite time of year to walk through the farm and just smell all the honeysuckle and make all the stuff you can make with honeysuckle. But lots of teas going on around here the past couple weeks. All right, second thing that we wanted to talk about before we get into the juice of this video. Y'all know we love freeze drying. You know we love our Harvest Right freeze dryer. And anytime there's a deal like too good to pass up, we want to let you know about it because you might not be aware. They're having a Memorial Day sale right now that cuts the price of the medium-sized freeze dryer, which is what we got, by about $300. $300 off of that. They're also giving you free shipping, but here's the big kicker. That Premier pump that we have, because you have to have a pump that powers it, they're including that with the purchase of the medium-sized freeze dryer. That's an $800 pump that you're getting just included with the purchase. So that's amazing. It's always linked down below if you're interested. We just wanted to let you know because if it's something that you've been thinking about getting, like, it might be time to pull the trigger. Yeah, it's a really good deal they got going on. So yeah, go check that out. Get you a Memorial Day deal. Okay, so what happened to us yesterday? Yesterday, it was a rainy day. We were actually planning on taking it easy because, as you all know, tomorrow is our grand opening, Saturday, May 28th, for our store. So we were thinking about just taking it easy on Thursday and relaxing so we can just be energized and ready to go for this weekend. Well, I get a phone call as I'm making breakfast, and I knew it was a local number, but I wasn't familiar with it. I answer it. It's the health department, and they asked for Jen. Like, okay, here it comes. Here we go. So I hand the phone to Jen, and it immediately seemed off. Something was a little off on the phone call. There was a lot of questions being asked, but not a chance to answer, if you understand what I'm saying. Like, Jen could not get really words out. Everything was fine. It's just we understood from him that there was a complaint filed on us about our store. Their primary concern was about us serving hot dogs and hamburgers, and then also the farm fresh eggs, which was strange. But somebody filed a complaint. So as as Jen is trying to answer him, she cannot get a word in. I, as her husband, was hearing this conversation and was not happy with how the conversation was going. So I took over. We explained that it's probably best if you just come out because it feels like you're already accusing us of what the complaint has said without knowing the facts. And obviously that's not the way to go. If a complaint's filed, they have to review, they have to look. So we all agreed, just come out. And they did.
So once they were here and we were able to be face to face, it changed for the better. The tone was dropped, the accusatory, the aggressiveness, all that was dropped, and we were able to explain ourselves. They explained themselves. We were able to introduce ourselves, shake hands, say, welcome to the farm. Let's start over.
Yeah.
Because the way this is going is not going to be well for any of us.
Right, and we need a long-lasting relationship with this
Right.
group. They are our county health department,
Yeah.
and so this won't be the only time we talk to them.
Yeah. So I told him, I said, listen, I know you've got questions, and I've got all the answers you need, but we need to do one question at a time so that we're not talking over each other. We're not interrupting. And then we'll go from there. You can look. You can take pictures of whatever you want. You can see, feel, whatever you need to do to get this cleared up.
And they're very appreciative of that.
Yes.
And, you know, we understand. They're kind of just the middle guy, unfortunately, in this.
Well, and it got thrown on their plate.
Right.
When they didn't want to have to deal with that.
Right.
So what had happened was... What had happened? He told us. He said, "So I'm gonna let you know how this got onto my plate this morning." I said, "Great, like let's talk about that."
Yeah.
He said someone called into Frankfurt, which is a whole nother story.
We'll get
they
into
called
that in a
into
minute.
Frankfurt to file a complaint with the state, the Cabinet of Health and Family Services. And that got rolled down to him because he's in charge of Barbourville. And they said, hey, you need to go check this out because we're not sure what's going on.
And to our understanding, it was three primary things. The milk, the eggs, and us cooking hamburgers and hot dogs.
Yes. The milk was immediately cleared up because the milk is for animal consumption. So I mean, he took one look at the sign and was like, okay, we don't even need to speak about that because the milk is fine. The eggs, it's a hurdle we've already been through and that we're going to continue to go through. In Kentucky, there's just certain things you have to do, but we've already done all that. So, and then the hot dogs and hamburgers we talked about and we worked out. But the complaint was filed and the Frankfurt itself could have checked in and pulled all the records because Frankfurt has been here. They've inspected everything. That was a year ago. I've re-upped my license since then. Everything's been approved again. So that was a very easy fix. This poor man who had a job to do yesterday didn't even have to come out here because Frankfurt could have squashed it on their end.
Yeah, I asked him, I said, did anybody look us up in the system, like to see if we had certificates or anything like that? And he said, no, we didn't do that. I was like, well, that would have been the first move.
Yeah.
You just search the name. But it's okay. It's okay.
So we showed him all that, showed him all their certificates, and he brought the information. He was like, oh, well, you've already done all this. This is all.
Yeah.
Like, so it was just a big waste of time.
Yeah.
But he did get to look around. It was kind of a mind easer for us because, like he said, we knew this was going to happen at some point. So let's just go ahead and get it out of the way.
Right, before we even
Come on
open.
out, see the place, see everything that we have, and then we're all on the same page and we can get this squashed already.
I think one of my favorite lines, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, was we were apologizing to each other about the phone call and getting things squashed, and he said, even if I have to shut you down today, I'm not going to do it disrespectful. And Jen goes, we're not even open.
There's nothing to shut down. We're not even open. Oh, it's
Mailman. All right, we're back. That was actually, we got some little solar lanterns. There's Bluetooth speakers that we can hang up on the porch so we can have a little nice music playing in the background on the porch. Okay, so they were here. We had a very good conversation with them. They explained a lot of things to us that they have to deal with, and so that was helpful because I'm like, well, we won't be a problem.
Yeah.
Basically, what it boiled down to is if we want to sell that like hot, fresh lunch, we need to get a permit to do so. Even though she has her food handler's permit and all that stuff and all the things for that, just to be able to sell, you have to do that. So
and that's just for hamburgers. We can still sell hot dogs.
Yeah, and not chili.
Yeah.
Funny background story with that one. But yeah, so on our grand opening, we will have hot dogs available, but not hamburgers because those are allowed to be sold. But anyways, all was good. They checked out all the certificates. They said you have everything you need. They left. A couple follow-up phone calls with Frankfurt. Just so they can confirm, from what they had said, all's good. Yeah. Words they said, you have got through all the hoops that you needed to get through.
Yes.
So he was like, well, thank you. All right.
And keep in mind, just real quick, we're from Frankfort. That's where he was born, and that's where I grew up from the time I was 6. A lot of our family works at the cabinet, so we know a lot of these people. So the phone calls they're fun. They're very similar and very familiar, and we know basically everyone in Frankfort.
And Frankfort.
So like Frankfort's not big bad like state Frankfort to us. It's our hometown.
Yeah, and literally everyone works for the state that lives in Frankfort for the most part, so you know somebody. So yeah, all is good with the official complaint. It has, to my knowledge, been closed, and we are good to go. So now we want to talk to you about the 2 things that kind of ripple from this complaint. First off, farmers in general. There is so much government overreach when it comes to being able to sell any of your farm goods. It is something that is no longer the norm. Farm fresh is not the norm. We are okay with eating chemical-based ingredients and everything in the grocery store, happily go pay for them, no complaints filed. But as soon as a farm fresh tomato comes up, everybody's scared. Farm fresh canned goods, everybody's scared. I know for the most people that are watching this, you're not. You're canners yourself, you love it, you would prefer farm fresh. But our country as a norm and a whole have no idea what they're eating and what they're fighting. What they're fighting is the good stuff. What they're eating is the bad. And it's something that we all together continue to fight with and continue to try to beat. It's when we talk about the food system's broken, this is what we're talking about. We as a country can help change the norm. We can make raw milk cool again. We can make farm fresh tomatoes and veggies cool again. It can happen, and it will happen. The movement is already there. It's just the government regulations haven't eased yet.
Yeah, and it takes a lot of people fighting like us and doing what we're doing to make that click in their minds, and then you're also giving your opinion. If a whole lot of us do that to our states and to our cabinets and all of the health departments, if we keep doing that and keep fighting and keep making it click in their heads, and then they're talking to representatives and Senate, and then all of that can change. I'm not saying it will, but it can. We just have to keep fighting, and that's why we do what we do.
Exactly, and it's not about breaking the law. It's not about trying to just sell this stuff illegal and trying to do it under the table and this and that. It is about being upfront and in their face and saying, hey, we are here and we are legally selling this stuff. So that's when you fight with your representative, not fight, that's when you talk with your representatives. And if you don't have like the cottage food-based laws like we do in Kentucky, you need to strive to get those in your state so you can start selling canned goods and you can start doing this at a bigger scale and making grocery stores farm fresh instead of just, you know, putting a sign out saying we have farm fresh eggs here. We want to be bigger. We want to become the bigger grocery stores and make the Walmarts and the IGAs and Krogers smaller.
So that's where you can start. Whatever state that you're in right now, look it up and see what your state's laws are as far as cottage food laws. Do you have cottage food laws? What are within those laws, whether it's microprocessing or home-based microprocessing, food handlers. See what it is that you can do to be able to sell goods from your home. Some states have not adopted all of that yet, but I'm pretty sure the majority has.
Which is a good sign.
It is, and it's a really good resource. Now, it's sad that we even have to put that resource because it should just be normal. However, farmers and homesteaders ourselves, we do have to compromise sometimes. We have to compromise a little, work with our state and our health departments, go through the hoops, even though it's difficult and complicated, just do it so that when they come for you, say, nope, no sir, no ma'am, I've got what I need, what you specifically put into place, and here it is.
Yeah, and the problem is there's a lot of departments, so it isn't like you just deal with one. It's overall like, I think Cabinet of Health and Family Services here, but you know, then there's a bunch of sub departments, and they're not really talking real well to each other. So you have to jump through everyone's hoops. And I think a lot of the reason they do that, we've talked, is so people will stop. Yes. They'll quit. They won't see it through
before they even get started.
Right, and it's to make sure, I guess, on both ends, one, that you're serious about doing it, and two, they're not just giving these certificates out to just anyone. But if you're serious, do it and see it through and get it done. That way you can start this process. Even if a store or something like what we have isn't even on your radar, it wasn't when we did this either. But we knew eventually we would want it. So it's just nice to have that stuff out of the way, because once you get certified, then you just re-up every year. Big man's got to get his money, right? You know, it's got to happen.
It's part of the compromise.
It is part of the compromise. just start, get those things, ask questions, figure out what is legal and not legal, and if it's not legal, figure out how you can start getting petitions going to make it so. So that's what you have to do. It's one of the biggest questions I think she gets asked, because everybody knows that I'm the worker, she's the certified and everything, and the maker. So that's it. That's how you get started doing what we're doing. It's not unachievable. It just takes some time.
Now we have a message.
Yes. So this complaint had nothing to do with us selling farm fresh anything.
Not a little bit.
Yeah, not even a little bit. But we wanted to explain it because it is something that you have to do. This was a direct threat of jealousy.
Yeah.
I guess fortunately, unfortunately, we know exactly who it was.
We do.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough.
Yeah. I mean, we weren't told who it was, but we figured it out. We can figure it out. We're from Frankfurt, like I said, so just we know who you are. We're well aware of why you did it and why you continue. I'm pretty sure this won't be it. For whatever reason, all of you have made us your hobby for 1.5 years now. So continue on. I mean, you're only hurting yourself, not us. We've got through this. We've gotten through all the rest that you've put us through, and we're going to continue to. And one day when it's all over, everyone's going to know.
Yeah. Like she said, unfortunately, there's some stuff and reasoning why we can't say more at this time. But we did want to make sure that message was clear, that we knew who it was.
Yeah. That message is not to you YouTube people. It's
no.
to the one person who knows exactly who they are.
Yeah, and
the entire family.
Yeah, and we know it's not over.
Yeah.
But what we want you to know is when we started YouTube, we were preparing for people like you when we had 0 subscribers. We knew that there was going to be stuff like this that was coming, and we made sure that we were prepared in every possible way. I think that's basically all that needs to be said. And for you all, everybody else in YouTube, you know people like this. There's people that are going to try to drag you through the mud with them. The biggest thing to do is not let them. Don't let them win. Don't let them give up, because if you're anything like us too, when we get pushed, our heels just dig deeper. We do not run. We do not say, well, we're going to sell and get out of here because it's too hard. That's never going to happen. We had our goat stolen the second week we were here, and we didn't go. A complaint to the state capital where we're from is nothing like stealing our goats. So I can tell you one thing, we're not going anywhere.
Nope.
And you don't go anywhere either. For if you're having fights with neighbors, or if you're having legal battles that you're dealing with, dig in and fight for what is yours, and fight for what your dreams are, because that is exactly what we're doing. And I'm sorry, but we're going to be a nuisance for a while, I guess, because we are not going anywhere.
Yeah, and for those of you, obviously, you can probably tell that this is a local issue for us. It's not a YouTube issue. It's not a subscriber issue, stranger issue. None of that comes into play. It's a local issue, and I'm sure a lot of you have dealt with that too, especially those that have moved into new areas, or trying to get settled, or some of you have even been there for years, and we've heard stories about how it's still difficult. Just keep pushing, pushing. Don't quit. Don't let them make you scared. Don't let them make you cry. Don't let them make you anxious. Because, like I said, at the end of the day, they're wasting their time, and you're moving on up.
Yep.
So keep going.
Just fueling that fire in your body. So that's been our fun. 2 days leading up to our grand opening. Yeah. But thankfully, it is now Friday, and everything is cleared up, and we are good to go for a successful Saturday opening. We've got plenty of help that's going to be around. So if you are planning on coming, we can't wait to see you. Can't wait to meet you. We do also are getting rid. We're selling 2 of our bucklings that we have. So they'll be leaving our farm tomorrow as well. So, it's just a wild day. Wild day.
Always is.
Always is. That's why we
try to cram as much into one day as we possibly can. And then we look it back and we're like, wow.
Can't believe we did it.
Maybe we could have spread it out.
All right. Well, y'all, we hope that you all enjoyed today's video. I know you definitely probably learned something, because that isn't the legalities of everything, or that confusing part that's like, what I need, what I not need. Hopefully this gets you started and headed in the right direction.
Just look up your state.
Yeah.
That's the first place to start.
Yeah.
Because they're all different.
Yeah, that's an extremely good point. It's not federal, it is state. Yeah. So that's where you need to go. But y'all, if you're new here, please make sure to hit that subscribe button.
We love you.
And until the next one. Bye.